Hello, Kriksis here and welcome everyone to this cozy corner. Today I will be sharing sketchbook tour with you. I have done a lot of sketchbook tours recently because I do enjoy working in them, and this is no exception. This is the Odd Orange sketchbook, and I guess without further ado, grab yourself a cup of tea or coffee. I have peppermint here, and like this video, and let's check the sketchbook out. So this is the Odd Orange sketchbook I bought last year. I believe I got it because it was on second sale and I got it for £30. I will link the place where you can get it. It's basically from a small UK business and the owner is Morgan and she is hand binding them, so they're really nice quality. And I have a little Robin sticker from my shop, and I just felt like this fits into this book really, really well. And even though this is like fabric cloth, I felt it's perfect. Yeah, this is the end papers for the sketchbook. Really, really pretty. And yeah, this is the first page. I kept the tag from the sketchbook and there is also a sticker, I'm a second. This first page was a little bit, it came off, but I glued it with the glue and now it fits perfectly. And I used first page just to experiment with colors. And these are actually my own curated gouache palette made by Winsor and Newton Designers Gouache. And this is how it looks. And as you can see, I have been using it a lot. And yeah, I feel it's just perfect to have when you sketch something quickly. I use it a lot in my sketchbooks and I also use it when I go outside, which don't happen that often, but it's still there. And the first sketch I did was actually on YouTube video. I will link the video down below, but if you want, you can join me and sketch this scene together. And I did it in mixed medium. I think I had like neo colors and paint markers on top as well. And this was on 26th of May. Oh, wait. Really chaotic, I know, but this sketchbook I started on 26th of May, 2023, and I finished it in 2024, 25th of March. So it took me 10 months to finish. The next sketch is the sketch I did outside from observation, and this is in hail. I used these gouache paints and just a little bit of pencil, and that's it. So this was a super quick sketch of Open Studios, which happened last year in Cornwall. This is Melanie Chadwick, but I sketched her from the back, so it's really hard to see. And this is her work and stand there, but it's just really, really loose and vague. I probably spent like 10 to 20 minutes for this one. And this is also in the same place. And this one is completely different day. I think I was sketching from Natasha's Newton Patreon, and she sometimes shares reference pictures over there, and this was one of the pictures she shared. And I really liked the scene, so I tried to give it a go as well. And I really like the colors, and I like how I layered this piece. It's quite simple, but it's also a lot of details. Okay, so this was a really chaotic Zoom drawing session with Odd Orange, and this was kind of like playing with different things. So here I colored the whole page in this unusual green-blue color, more like green, I would say. And then there was task to do negative space. So this is negative space. I used the white paint marker and did the chair on top, and the same with the lizards as well. And there were some other tasks. This was like to do a continuous line with this coffee maker. And then we had like 30 seconds, I think, for an onion or something like that. And this was, I think without looking at the page, we were sketching fishes. So I did 1, 2, and 3 different ones. And I think we had like just really little time to do them. And I think this was like with non-dominant hand. As you can see, I'm not the best at doing non-dominant sketches, and this is also without looking. But because I used pencil and then I used gouache, I didn't know how much I used gouache, and I thought I will use it like watercolor with more water. But it turned out that I just painted really dark color on top, so it's really hard to see what's happening in there. And I think I had like little space left here, so I painted some watercolor swatches just to see how it looks in this sketchbook. And this was bicycle, but I think we needed to use like medium we don't normally use. And I think I used like fabric cloth and I dipped it into paint, and that's how I got the lines. So it's really filled with mark making, I guess. And here, I think there was sketch which I don't like. And usually I just keep them as they are because I want to see the progress in sketchbook. But for some reason, I didn't like it so much that I just covered the whole page with the green paint marker. And then I was thinking, what could I add there? And I realized, okay, I'm just going to do Neocolor swatches. So these are all the Neocolors I have in my collection. And I wanted to see how they look on top of the green paper, I guess. So yeah, it's really interesting to see them now. And this was the last thing we did in this Zoom drawing session. I think this was like just like a scene, and you can feel it as you want. And there was this barn swallow, and I think we just sketched it out like we want to. I think these two were without any rules, and it's really funny because this looks like one artwork itself. It looks like the barn swallow just flew from the house or nearby. So yeah, it's sometimes like that when you have two different artworks next to each other, they kind of interact with each other. And this is another observational sketch. I think I brought this sketchbook a lot outside when I did sketch outside, although, as I said before, I don't go outside that often to sketch, so this is like really rare occasions. This was in mullion, and I used, again, this gouache. I just love it. I filled it several times. As you can see, it's like half empty in some moments. And this was also with the gouache and also outside. I think it was in Kriksis. I think that's how you say that place. And I went there with Melanie Chadwick, and we had like amazing time there. It was really nice weather, and I really like how I sketched it. It's just little zoom in from, I was sitting close to the sea and I was looking a little bit up, and this was like on top of the hill, and I really like how I composed it. And I like the green, different versions. So yeah, really happy how it turned out. And this was, we were going back home already, and I was like, wait, can we do one super quick? So I did this one in 10-minute time, and I really enjoyed working on it. It was just like really quick one, and there were some birds on top, which I quickly sketched as well. So this was really fun to do. And this is also outside with Melanie Chadwick. I think it was a month later. I tried to sketch with Melanie because she does a lot of outdoor sketching, so it kind of pushes me out. And yeah, I bring sketchbook as well. So this was in the creek. Is that how you say it? There was like water running, some rocks, and I had another scene which looks like that. I think maybe I needed to add some paper in between because it's just smudging a little bit, but I still enjoy how it looked. and it's just a little bit abstract, which is really interesting. I think this is what I want to aim for when I sketch these sketches outside and not be too perfectionist. So these are the sketches I did for Patreon Zoom drawing sessions. I think this was in September, and I did host it, and I shared the reference pictures from Latvia. So this is in countryside, this is a church. I again used the designer's gouache. This is different Zoom drawing session. I did some quicker ones in smaller sizes, and I did a little bit longer one on bigger size, and I even did little swatch with the colors. And it looks like I used the markers for this one. And this is again from the Zoom drawing session. I really enjoyed this one. There were like some marks from tractor, and I think I made nice pattern up there, as you can see. And this is another one also from Zoom drawing session. More sketches from this side. So this is another quick one. I think this is a 10-minute sketch. And this is another 10-minute sketch. And it looks like I did also it with acrylic markers. I really enjoy working with them for quicker sketches as well. This is Odd Orange Zoom drawing session, which I did in November, I think. This is also from the same drawing session. And then I had like blank space. And because I don't like leaving blank spots in my sketchbooks for some reason, I have sketches of the swatches again. And this is my palette, gouache palette, basically. I wanted to see if they granulate, because I realized, because I mixed them myself, some of them do granulate. And this is again Odd Orange Zoom drawing session. I think we did some wintry scenes, and here is like even polar bear, which was really fun to do. Okay. And this is from my own Zoom drawing session. This is, I think, from MapCrunch website, as well as this one. I found whenever I need to pick some like reference pictures, I cannot go wrong with choosing map crunching images. There's just so much variation to choose from. And I really enjoy also exploring different parts of the world, because I cannot travel all the time. And this is a way of traveling and documenting different locations. It also helps to work on composition and how you frame things and where you put the colors. So there's still so many things you can think about while you sketch these sketches. And here is more. It's so funny how a lot of sketches are on the different size. It's not like, I didn't use all the time like full spreads. I just used one of the pages. So this is another one. And this is another one. This was the Zoom session I participated, and it was hosted by Diana. She is one of my Patreons, and sometimes my Patreons host Zoom sessions as well, so it's really fun to join them. Then I did this quicker one, which is up here. I think this was 5 minutes. So this is what I can do in 5-minute time. These are some studies with color value. I think I did it in private lesson for Patreons. And this I did it just sketching from reference picture. And I think this was also from Natasha's Newton reference pictures. This is 1st of January, by the way. For the context, I write dates down below, because I noticed that I really want to see when I created it. And I think long time ago I didn't write when I did what. So now I'm like, okay, I need to write it everywhere. And yeah, I really enjoyed the color palette. I used, I think, mostly the markers. and I added darker one and then I layered some of the top on the top. Another Zoom drawing session. This was the cottages and log houses, I think. Really fun session. More cottages, some with colors, some without. It depended on like how much time I had and also what was the focus I wanted to do. Either I wanted to explore color palette or focus on the proportions or color value. And more, this was the Patreon session hosted by Michelle. And I really enjoyed this one because there were some landscapes and then some animals. So it was like mix and match. Then I remember I did this by myself. I was just playing with the acrylic markers. This was just super monochromatic scene. And for these ones, I just tried to test different things out. I wouldn't normally use this yellow color, but yeah, for some reason I did. I tried to have shadows with like this slate gray color, which I think was really effective. I think this was the point when I got the Lumos fine liner pen from Tom's Studio, and basically it's a fine liner which you can refill with fountain penning, and you can wash it out and then add different nibs. And mine one has 2 different sides, and I just love sketching with the brush pen. And yeah, so this was the outside sketch, and then I did these ones, this one for the Zoom drawing session on Patreon, and I used kelp tea brush pen together with kelp tea fountain pen, and it's so interesting how different they are. I think the fountain pen kelp tea was much darker than the brush pen, and it made interesting effects. And this is the scene I did while I was sketching outside with Melanie Chadwick. It's really chaotic. I think I was like in a mood to sketch freestyle and not plan as much. So there are a lot of different marks, which I kind of enjoy. I think this is the point where I watched a lot of Sandy's Hester videos and I was like inspired just to paint loosely. So after this sketch, I actually did one A3 sketch, which was 4 times bigger than this sketch. So I was just really in the mood of sketching loosely. And yeah, I'm happy how it turned out. And for some reason, I don't know why, but I skipped, I think, the page because this was the same day when I sketched these sketches. And these are again from the Zoom drawing session on Patreon. I did this with color, but the rest were just with the fountain penning and the Lumos pen with kelp tea ink. And I love this ink color. It's one of my favorites. And this was also the same day. And this one down here, it's a sketch I did outside, again, sketching with Melanie Chadwick. I know, I mention her all the time now, but it's just because I do sketch outside when I meet her. So it's mostly when I use this sketchbook as well. And it's really funny. This is the Zoom drawing session I was hosting together with Natasha Newton. And we plan to do them sometimes, so please check out my or Natasha's Patreon. We will have joint sessions once in a while. And this one was happening in March, and we did 2 night scenes and 2 daytime scenes. And this was the 10-minute sketch, and this was another one for 10 minutes. And this was for 20. And I think this is my favorite sketch out of this sketchbook. I just really love how it looks. And yeah, I love the colors. I love the color palette. I love the looseness. I love the mark making that I added pencil on top. And I feel it's just perfect. Perfect sketch to have. So I'm just going to zoom in a little bit. But yeah, I'm just really happy how it turned out. And I want to use this color palette again, and it is from this set, but I think I mixed some of the colors together and I got like this darker rust tone with orange and brown, and yeah, it's just beautiful color combination. Okay, this is another outside sketch with Melanie Chadwick. This is in St. Michael's Mount, and I sketched it for a long time. I think it was hour or hour and a half, because I was in a coffee shop together with Mel and two other illustrators from Spain, and I used the gouache, and unfortunately it stuck together, so you can see this middle part, which wasn't the best, but oh well, I guess it's fine. And this is the next one. This is the sketch I did by myself. I did a timer, I think for 28 minutes. I noted it down, and I used the gouache again, and it looks really autumnal. Then I did this one, and this is also, I sketched it all by myself. I used reference picture, I used the gouache, I tried to play with mark making a little bit, and with pencils. I really fell in love with the Inktense pencils, and I have been using them together with gouache, and I feel they make perfect companion together. And yeah, I just really enjoy how they interact with each other. And this is the last sketch, and it's super loose, as you can see. It's not perfect. I actually painted the background with acrylic, and then I had Zoom drawing sessions with foxes, and I realized that I was putting gouache on top and it just didn't work out really well. So I had like 8 minutes left, and I started over and I did this sketch. And instead of like painting over this one like I did previously in this sketchbook, I just decided to leave it as it is, to have documented behind the scenes and to share that it's fine to just leave something that is not perfect. So I would advise you to leave the ugly sketches as well and let them be seen again and again. I think it will be more encouraging when you visit your sketchbook later on, that you see the progress you have made from that moment until now. And yeah, and this is the end paper. I love this end paper, and this is the end. So you can see this sketchbook has 3 different colors. This is the olive green, this is the blue, and this is kind of pale pink. I decided to have this as a front and that as a back. I truly enjoyed Odd Orange sketchbook. I want to buy more, but because I have so many sketchbooks right now, I want to use what I have already. But definitely recommend for mixed mediums. I think it's perfect for both wet media and dry media. I'm just working on several layers, so I'm just really happy how it turned out. Thank you so much for watching this week's video. If you did enjoy it, please don't forget to leave a like. And if you want to let me know you stayed till the very end of the video, write in the comments Odd Orange. And yeah, I will see you super soon. Bye everyone. Bye.